So you're right.
All right, we're going to start the broadcast shortly. Everyone who's online.
I'm surprised not even guys who normally come here would be here. But anyway. Sorry about that, Jason. We have a few guys. Good. Coming in here. Let's have a fireside chat.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was aiming for.
On it.
Okay.
Oh, you can stay in the shop.
So, hey everyone. Start. Thanks for waiting around with us. We have Jason Scott and Paul Sennett from Wheel the Choir here with us. We're just having a fireside chat today with them. So really informal, of course, can always. I don't think we have the chat up. All right, so we're about to start. So just hang on and give us a few. All right.
What's on there?
What's there? Somebody doing already. I just sent it out to everyone, so they'll soon start to come on. But we always do this every Tuesday we do it, and it becomes really, really informal.
Yeah.
So now what can we do?
Until they saw me.
I have the shirts. Or a t-shirt.
No. But you are this showing that tech really can come to where it is.
That's the plan.
T-shirts and jeans, right? And a scrawny up t-shirt. Them and those guys that are there.
I wasn't saying it for that reason, but we're on. So
we're live.
We're live.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to be monitoring it.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, those two guys are coming in. Huh?
Come where? Come in the shots.
What? No.
Join the hot seat somewhere.
We need somebody who actually looks good to actually put us in that seat. Andre, come and sit this side here. Let's actually just come into this side here. Don't sit so far away. Come up close. You have to go all the way over there. The camera's just over here, so you have to sit down. No. You can't come sit on this side here.
Good.
Oh, sorry. All right. I guess we'll start. Andre coming in. You know Andre Bilodex?
I know Bilodex, yeah.
Just this
appraisal, yeah.
Huh?
Andre appraisal.
Yeah. I thought it would be interesting for him to actually, he's actually been on here. It's one of the few teams, it's one of the 4 invested teams, I guess, from First Angels.
Or it's not much of a
I think it's not events, it's payments. Event payments.
event payment.
Event payments. Event payments.
Just hybridize the two.
Basically, well, let's just get started and then. Yes, Dean. Everybody loves Dean. Just remember you're on camera though, Dean, from that seat. Jason's going to talk about his experience. So everyone got from Real Decoy and Paul sent from.
Who's this guy? Like,
I know this.
He's going to talk about his experience here in Jamaica with software, and then his experience recently trying to expand in the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's about Paul. Maybe it's not
That's Paul's work. Paul's.
Yeah, I mean, he's both of us.
Wasn't too loud speaking.
Oh, he's not speaking, but he's just here to help.
To help.
To make sure I said the right word.
All right. Okay. He's just monitoring you.
Yeah,
All
making
right.
sure I'm politically colored.
Correct. Yeah, we're like, so just an informal chat today.
Just a brief background. Went to UA, graduated from UA a couple years ago. While in UA,
Voice?
studied computer science. Was originally a medical physics major with a double minor in computer science and human biology. But comp sci was easier and switched. So when I was in second year comp sci, the first thing Mr. Kevin Miller at the time, now Dr. Miller, project, and that project was to implement GNU Health for the health center as a proof of concept. So I got exempt from all my classes for 1 semester. I'm like, hey, sure, no class for 1 semester, and I get to do something sort of cool. Sure, I'll do it. So for that 1 semester, I didn't do OOP, I didn't do databases, I didn't do programming, I didn't do anything in class. I just literally went to campus, installed PostgreSQL on a server, installed Triton, installed GNU Health, configured which was working, implementing custom modules, and then I had to present all of this to GNU Health Center and the doctors and trying to get them interested in using the software, so using books and paper and things. So that was my second year at UA. And from during that experience, it was just very informative. I went to classes after that because I learned everything in that during that one project. I learned OOP, I learned databases, I learned networking, I learned security, everything in one. It was like a crash course for UA. But then I started doing courses by Dr. Core, which are the hardest courses you live on, which are the best courses you live, because the UA always do the core courses. And one day I went to analysis algorithms, and there was a guy in class, and it was new. Like, I didn't know this guy. And then I heard something like, oh, there's this guy from Google here. I'm like, who's this guy from Google? I want a job there. And so Dr. Crow was asking questions, and I was answering everything I could answer, trying to impress this guy. And then after class, he came and was like, oh, I'm from Google, looking for talent in Jamaica. And I'm like, all right, there's hackathon tomorrow if you want to come by. That was the /Roots hackathon that I have every year. So we went to the hackathon, we placed third. We built a bartending app in an agriculture hackathon. And it was very interesting. And then from there, the guy was like, hey, you did something really cool there. You should build on it. So we scrapped the bartending part and went to payments, right? There's no mobile payment in Jamaica. And that's when Android Pay app pay was just taking off. So we did Blaze payments. And in 3 months, well, in 1 month we had an MVP, and in 3 months we had a full system. And completed test-driven development, DevOps challenges. This was like before DevOps and TDD was a thing. And this when Google was at the cutting edge, was at the bleeding edge. That's when TDD and DevOps was bleeding edge, technology at cutting edge. So I had that set up, running it. I had beta tests with some stores on campus, some restaurants in Kingston. And it was going well. So then we launched officially. And then the following week, BOJ is like, hey, can't believe this. Mobile money is heavily regulated. Like, well, it's not mobile money. Some of the start they're like, hey, slow down. Stop.
Good decision.
Just avoid it completely.
Good
So we stopped.
decision.
But the exposure we got, getting our names out there, really helpful. And then from there, me and the team, we did on and off consulting, development, project management, on-site to clients, getting them sold on things, and then landed my first full-time contract job. After coming back from Suriname, from winning the second /Roots hackathon in Jamaica. And where we're representing as a guy there, like, I like what you guys do. We want to hire. So I'm like, sure, job, money, why not? So then we got hardcore into software development, work for a private firm. We had lots of large clients in Jamaica. We had to become developers, consultants, designers, PMs, tech leads, all these, everything. We're different at everything. And it opened the eyes to the scope of work in Jamaica. And after that was 1 year ago today, I started my job at Real Liquor. To this. And then at Real Liquor is a primary site search company that does software engineering, website development, and custom applications and CMS. So all the clients are not in Jamaica, not even in the region. They're all North America, Canada, UK, Europe, South Korea. So they have nothing in the region, and I'm like, you guys should expand to the region. I think it would be a really good idea if you did that. Here's this.
How many people do you have at Real Decoy?
60 people.
60 people and
50 which are developers.
developers.
Well, in the 60, 50 are developers.
Yeah, no. But
So we're out of this.
60 here. 40 or
Canada.
16 here.
60, 60.
60 here, 40. So the company
Jamaica.
in Jamaica.
That's changed over the years. Originally, mostly Canada, but now it's changed to mostly Jamaica.
Under the Canadians?
Yeah,
Canadian company?
it's a Canadian company.
It's a Canadian company
With an office in Jamaica.
with an office in Jamaica
Formally
employing
registered.
developers.
Yeah, in
So
Jamaica.
you guys actually probably have the most amount of developers then
In the region.
at Real Decoy.
I said these are full-time contract.
They're all full time. They all work. Like Paul has been there 5, 6 years, 7 years.
5, 6, 7 years.
And in the past year alone, Paul has gained 3 years experience working on 3 large companies projects. So like 1 year working at Real Liquor is equal to 3 years because even normal projects, they're like, all right, this giant brand that everybody knows, wearing their pants, right? Also working on this company that everywhere you look, or if you want to say congratulations, you're using this company. And if you want to make a phone call, you're also using this company. So you're doing content management, you're doing back end. So they put you on like 3 projects at once, and it's 3 years experience. So for every project done is ridiculous. Small. There's no room for error.
So are you guys then sucking up all the talent then in Jamaica?
Surprisingly,
Basically?
no. We'd love to. We'd love to, but you never know what really going on. Last couple months, that's when Paul and I took on an initiative to say, yo, you guys should expand to the region because there's work to be done here, and you're bringing world-class talent to Jamaica. Because I've done work. I've been a private contractor, and there's sometimes you go to a company or government agency, and it's the obvious code you've ever seen in your life. You can't even maintain it. You have to start over. There's nobody to ask for anything. There's work to be done. So they said, all right, Jason, do it. So I decided to try it. So I had some previous clients I was working on personally, so I brought one to them. I showed them. I said, all right, cool, and they got the first piece of business that was like January this year. And they're like, all right, Jason, you see here's Paul. Paul has been working with us for 7 years. He knows the processes. Paul will help you a lot. And then Paul is just like really quite, Jamaica is not really quite global services. It's pretty much a startup.
Hold on a second, guys. People are saying that the audio is really poor. They're not hearing us. Hey guys, sorry, we're seeing your comments now that the audio is pretty poor, so I'm just gonna bring the laptop closer to the center. So
Yeah, no.
we're just gonna have
Focus
focus in on Jason.
It's on.
Jason, can you talk a little bit and then see if we can make the audio.
So global services is Jamaica Global Services.
No, it's really quite global
Really
service.
good global services is the Jamaica regional arm.
The regional arm
Yeah.
of the, basically you're actually just becoming the marketing side for this Latin America, Central America.
Essentially.
They say like a startup, so we're ready to start in Jamaica.
Yeah, alright, so Really Koi was previously Effective Side or something like that. Was just to be able to have tax and all that nice stuff. And then they started taking it seriously. So, after we landed the first official client there, they're like, all right, we have to do this seriously. And all Jamaican legalities sorted, complete TCs.
So when
and all
you
that stuff.
so you landed the real client and they said, oh, maybe there is some work here.
Oh,
You
not
could actually
maybe.
do.
Not maybe. The VP flew down. He flies down every now and then, like every couple months, every 2 months or so he flies down. So I brought him into a meeting and he spoke with the CTO of a very large financial institution here.
Mhm.
And they spoke extensively and he's like, wow, Jason, there's a lot of work to be done here. So the company rebranded to Really Koi Global Services like early this year, January or so. And then pretty much me and Paul are in charge of this new startup. So it's a startup, but it's not a startup. It's the same startup.
You're a subsidiary within a large corporation that now has to start from scratch to go try to find work, sales and marketing in Jamaica to sell stuff.
Yep.
All right.
Rare. So the thing is now.
So what are your targets or goals for this year? What did they give to you?
They gave us a very high and unreasonable target. But
just in terms of is it like $2 million worth of contracts you need to actually?
I wish it was $2 million. It was like $20 million worth of contracts. Jamaican.
No, okay, but Jamaican is no money at all.
Exactly. So like they give us.
So 20 million Jamaican is what? 200,000.
Oh, it's actually 500.
500,000. Yeah, they give us 500. We generate $500,000.
In the meantime, you still have some services to go out, right?
Yeah, so we have to be balancing the developers, taking time off from the high-paying clients, so to say, focus on local contracts and vice versa. So as I say, it's not really a startup. We have to.
All the clients should be at NCBs. One of the only few clients, the government, and who can actually give you contracts. And
we have capacity to service Jamaica with ease.
how much business can they get out of NCB?
Well, no, NCB
Do you know Kyle?
No.
Kyle was the architecture designer at NCB.
Okay, have a bone speaker.
He's no longer there.
Oh, wonderful! You're not there anymore. Good job.
NCB has a fairly large suite of developers. Not 40 or 50, but but they mostly work on servicing. Yeah, so a lot of legacy.
That's
the legacy app.
Yeah. None of these companies have brand new systems. They're all legacy. For some running on Java 3, Java 4, and
No, there is some stuff that is new that comes in. But then there's some of the integration work. I can't tell you how much of it right now is actually brand new development, but the percentage is not much. Especially when at the enterprise scale.
I understand. So that's one thing I came to. All right, so I'm really young. So I came to when I came to Really Koi, I'm like, yo guys, all these cool things, you should be using them. They're like, Jason, you don't understand. All our clients are legacy. You can't just throw Git at the SVN repo and make it work. You can't just throw these legacy systems. You have to work your way in and stuff like that. So came to understand I hate Java. His shirt says Oracle Platinum Partner, which we are. So in the interview, they're like, what you prefer? Like, they're like, you realize we're an Oracle company? I'm like, yes, I hate Java. So that's me very clear. So I mean, I had to adapt. So I learned. I know Java. I don't like using it.
Are you a Python guy?
I'm a Python guy.
So you can actually mentor?
No, I've been up at 3.2, way back when it was the first thing next to PHP.
Oh, you know Daniel then. Oh, okay, so you put him out to Dan. Okay, all right. That's how that link came into being. All right, okay, all right. Because that's.
I thought it was amazing. It's the future, guys. But so the
I
thing is,
heard it here. Second.
Just remind everyone that if you're not in front of the mic, speak very loudly to take
Okay.
on the walk.
All right.
so one of the challenges now when Mark asked me is about expanding locally and regionally. So one of the key things that we need to consider is you don't need the smaller people. You need to find that one person who already has their feet in other countries. So like let's say it's like a multinational. Let's say a company. Let's say what's it called? Lasco, for example. Lasco, yeah. Lasco services other
try not to use the companies that is our clients.
Right? I can't say easy.
Let's say Grace Kennedy, for example. Let me give you an offer.
All right, that's just Grace Kennedy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Grace Kennedy.
Let me give you a company like Grace Kennedy.
So that's Grace Kennedy.
Elsewhere.
Grace Kennedy services other companies in the region.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's say they have what you want to target a niche problem, something very niche. So let's say Grace Kennedy, God forbid, have problems, doing deployments for the website and for internal software they use, proprietary software integration, stuff like that. Let's say that is their problem.
Mm-hmm.
You need to identify the problem, like that problems deployed. You need to find what is the actual problem. Like let's say they use some system that drives everything else, and if the deployment fails on other systems, it's fine. If it fails on this system, so you need to find what the actual problem is. So you're holding that problem, and then you tailor yourself for that. You're like, I can fix that. They're like, oh, you showed it. So now you got a foot in there. You prove yourself to them, and you try to keep on identifying all the problems within that company. And then you say, hey, there's certain with certain companies, if you fix one problem, it's not a Jamaican problem. It's a everywhere problem. So you say, oh, you can fly us over to Damrep, you can fly us over to TT, and we can fix the problem there as well. You within the Grace Kennedy group. Let's using Grace Kennedy as an example now.
Yeah. It's a good note of thinking of how do you actually expand out of Jamaica? Who is going to be your first client?
Speaking of first client is what matters. So picking that first client.
To go outside, because it's not a strategy. It's basically, this is something which we kind of didn't think of. I didn't actually think about that. But it's good that you're mentioning it. Find someone here who actually is a multinational client or company that you actually have. For example, I mean, that this company, they're actually trying to do, what's your product? Again? Huh? A smart plug underneath that. But a better smart plug that's in the marketplace, I guess, under there. So that would be actually a way of actually expanding outside the Caribbean first, is actually try to find a Jamaican company, I mean, not outside, out of Jamaica, that already has offices elsewhere, and then moving and selling them to that.
Or if you get really lucky, you can land with a freight forwarder. Like freight forwarders in Jamaica, everybody is pretty sure everybody doesn't buy clothes in Jamaica. You probably import it, fly overseas, pick it up and come back. Or if you want to buy a new computer, you don't buy it in Jamaica. That's crazy. You import it or something. So if you're you have ship me email back, those people, you can always link with these people because and solve their problems. And then if you do a good job, if you should do, in Jamaica everybody is linked. It's is who you know or who you know that knows somebody, and you just spread viral word of mouth. Yeah. So it's just doing a really good job at what you do. I think so. I wouldn't say.
So the meal pack, etc. That's actually an interesting link actually going up. So just tell us a little bit maybe of an example, hypothetical example. I'm going to give you one for example. Let's call them meal pack or UPS.
Let's say all right. UPS decides to open up in Jamaica. So you say, all right, in Jamaica, there is some weird problem with things at the port. You can't integrate with the system there because it's running on Windows 95 and you're using Windows 10. That's probably what the case is. So you're like, oh, we can do this custom thing for you. Can get in with UPS. Hey, UPS, we have this product, or not really a product. You don't ever want to waste your time building a product. You want to write a nice proposal. I found this out the hard way. You spend your time, you write a nice, long, fancy proposal, Arial 12 double space, nice images, sequence diagrams, flow, all these things. You don't need to write a single line of code. I found this out this year. Proposal, you send it to them like, hey, this is what we can do. This can be done. This is perfect for you. It fits your problems, checks all the boxes, and you get in. So now you work with UPS, and UPS is expanding in the region. So this is a problem that will be in St. Vincent, Trinidad, Damrep, Haiti, all these other countries. So they're like, oh, we already have a guy. They might go to these countries like, oh, manage. No, wherever guys in Jamaica can come. So you go down there, you work there, and you start meeting these people. You start networking. You start putting yourself out there. You come to things like you start up Jamaica. You go to mixers like the JCS, shameless plug. The JCS as the corporate members mingle. You should go to things like that. There was one last week. Y'all missed. It was awesome. And you have like Ingrid, those are her Kingston Beto, which is where I met a lot of people when we just started basically. Kingston Beto, thanks Ingrid. And you have like Matthew McNaughton, who is Slash Roots, and Slash Roots is, I think everybody should volunteer for Slash Roots. It's a civic programming organization. They're solving real problems in real time. So look at that. International as well, because some of the guys went to Europe too. And you get to meet all these people.
They did. Okay.
It does. If not last year, year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we actually we helped them out at the Zika hackathon.
Yeah.
Onto that, and it's a good thing that they're doing it, because it opened my eyes to the fact that you have real problems in Jamaica that can be solved, and if you have people who are interested, you might actually be able to develop a business around that.
Yeah.
I wanted to interject because he used the. Sorry, I'll speak though.
No, you will be seen.
No, I just wanted to add that for that mail pack problem.
UPS problem.
Mail pack / UPS.
But the company, so if you recognize the company that runs behind mail pack, that company Aeropost, it was actually started by a guy who used to do, well, what he used to do, expats with moving their personal household belongings to Belize from the US and back when they were moving back. Solved the logistics problem. And then the whole shipping of purchased items that people want to buy online just fit that model. And then a lot of people start to replicate that ship stuff that you buy online. And you say, Tom, I think that a lot of people are, but the logistics problem is going to be the harder part. I'll give up that business and I'll just stick to the logistics business. So he provides logistics, Airpost provides logistics services across the Caribbean to a number of the people who do this.
If you got in early,
the buy and ship stuff to your island. Great system. There's lots of security. I mean, I'm not sure lots. I have seen at least one security problem with it. But it's just to show you that you can solve a problem, and as I say, it's replicate once you have them.
because there's nothing new under the sun, which is something that
Have you guys tried any other route to? I guess in the Caribbean it might be harder to use. The question was from a reader, online viewer was setting up, like Canada setting up these soft landings with accelerators elsewhere in the world to discover and set up new customer segments. Have you found other means of doing something like that in the Caribbean region or elsewhere? Maybe even your company has done it internationally.
Again, we're going to be trying to.
Or maybe you could rephrase.
Yeah.
Internationally, there's a movement to be using accelerators as a place for soft landing, so you can actually go there, and then they'll help workspace WeWorks, basically, where you get contacts to link you up to other people on there. I'm just wondering if you had any experience in the rest of the Caribbean in doing that, or is your company internationally might have been doing things like that?
You've been there longer.
Your real decoy started in an accelerator, in an incubator.
It started.
Yeah, as in, so the
Oh, that's
founders of
even
Real
better.
Decoy-
So that's a good story. Let's hear it.
The founders of Real Decoy started right out of school. They went into like a small business competition. They won. They started Real Decoy based on that. Real Decoy Jamaica started at TIC at UTEC. It was 3 members, and we're now 16 members.
Now, how do we link from the competition, and how did they eventually get to link up to Jamaica to the guys at TIC? And I guess you were one of them?
Yeah, I was one of the people who I told the TSC. So they're different. So RD started in 2000. It came to Jamaica in 2003. Yeah, 2003.
Okay.
At TIC.
TIC. So
Yeah.
Real Decoy came at
Why
okay.
did they come to Jamaica?
Who went in Canada, and he said, Jamaica is a good place. For one, the time zone is the same, so when your customers are up, they're up as well. There's no language barrier. The competitors in India, you don't have any other competitor you're having. It's also a cool place. It's nice and warm. So
It's not Canada.
yeah, and so they checked it out and
Fell in love with ackee
Yeah.
and saltfish. They fell in love with the ackee and saltfish. I am not even joking. Every time they come down, they're like, yo, ackee and saltfish, fried dumpling, breadfruit. That's it.
and the people. They fell in love with the people, the really strong developers that we have. We have really strong developers, like above average.
Sounds more like Afghan sound.
Yeah.
You're not raising yourself. You're not raising
Oh,
Amen,
it's ackee and
amen. No, stop disrespecting us.
Exactly.
Everybody comes to Jamaica for the food. And you stay for the people, yeah. So I've been here, as I said, 1 year today. The friendship, the camaraderie I've seen between the Canadians and the Jamaicans. I mean, sometimes it's not even like there's a different office. I had a Skype call away, a phone call away, or a flight away.
Real Decoy is in what city in Canada?
Ottawa, Ontario.
Ottawa, Ontario. Now, are there links between you guys and Caseware then?
Not links.
Interesting story there. I wouldn't call it links. Caser is more, Caser is solving a niche problem.
Security.
Yeah, security. We're not security. We're
Yeah, you're more of a developer.
and developing and consulting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under
But
that.
as in, Real Decoy and Caser are aware of each other. I'm pretty sure.
But
The founders are friends.
The founders are friends, there we
That's
go.
as far as the relationship.
But you guys actually have no other intertwine in between it, because both of you then ended up in Ottawa then, because this is the first time I actually always thought Caseware was in Toronto, but they're in Ottawa. I just found that out.
Yeah.
And now I've just found out you guys actually Ottawa based also.
Yep.
This is actually very interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, because those are probably two of the full IT stores in Jamaica, and they're both involved some company out of Ottawa, which is actually pretty unusual on there
I
for.
found it surprising too. And they're like, oh, we're Canadian based. I'm like, what? Canada's programmers? I thought you guys like just poke moose and drank maple syrup all day. That's literally like I didn't know that it was like that serious. But speaking to the founders and the staff up there, programming is a really big thing in Canada as well.
Outside of Black,
Hmm?
right?
No, since the collapse of Black.
Since the collapse of
and they've released all their software developers rampant on the world. Yeah.
on the Rapids, no, Waterloo is still ranked as like one of the top 3 universities for software development in the world.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why I was surprised that you guys are out of Ottawa. So but Ottawa is the founding, was the head of Nortel. And so all the hardware guys from Nortel were there, but I didn't actually know they, and they eventually developed the software because Nortel eventually became software. And that was what actually blew it. That was what they were actually selling software bases, their side of it. So
You worked in Northern?
no, I'm Canadian based, but I was a tech analyst, so I kind of know a little bit about the technology.
Big in Jamaica as well at one point, weren't they?
Nortel was big globally, and they just collapsed because I'm not even quite sure of
Pretty
basically. I'm not even quite sure how they collapsed on themselves, because they were such a large company, and for them to have gone, I mean, the ending assets of Nortel when they sold off the patent portfolio was $5 billion. This is out of bankruptcy. At the time of 2000, the time of the hype, their stock went up to, I think, $260 billion. This is in 2000. They literally went from that to collapsing within 2 years. Like, just unbelievable what they actually did do. Yeah, and they were, well, it was not only, but not only did the bubble burst, but they had to have done something fundamental to actually have screwed up the whole company. And like for them to have actually gone bankrupt, because they had a fundamental business. If you actually thought about all the software, even today, much of the software in telecom, as you probably know, legacy systems, almost all the software that was being run had some form of Nortel. So even if they were able to chop off a lot of the company, they would have still have all this revenue being driven just by the software side of their business coming out of there. And they just imploded and stuff. Well, they went there, and then they had Mitel that came out of there. Newbridge came out of there. So they got left with quite a bit of hardware guys, hardware software, and then JDS Uniface also is out of Ottawa. So they actually have a little tech area that was Ottawa. Ottawa was the Silicon Valley for Canada in the 2000s, before Waterloo came into being. And so research.
Yeah, I heard the stories about that.
Yeah, so that's where the legacy of where Ottawa came into being. That they were the tech center of Canada until Waterloo took over, until Research in Motion took over by 2007, 2010, basically onto there. So Real Decoy was started back then, and it's still survived because we have guys and
lots of people team. And as is, I really was solving niche problems at the time. So regardless of what's going on.
Are you guys a consulting company then, and at the same time developer for unique problems? You guys are taking one-off problems and then developing software for these one-off problems?
Yeah, pretty much.
The David Bain symptom. No, sorry. David is actually, you guys know David.
Yeah, he taught me.
Oh, David taught you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
One of the Python things. Other from Python.
Yeah, he's like, all right, guys, we're using Web to Py. I'm like, what? What's this Python? He's like, yeah, you have to learn Python. I'm like, Python does web? I use Python for scripting. I know a lot of scripting. I'm like, oh, it's a web server. I'm like, Python can do this? He's like, yeah. And the rest is history. Literally.
So as I told David, I said, because he has a choice to try to develop this thing, is do you actually, it's a question that a lot of you guys will actually come up with, is if you're a strong developer, do you actually go on the consulting side, because you can always make money consulting, and at what point do you actually try to actually again, you're always developing for your clients, but you're never owning necessarily software, although you own a lot of the I guess you know how to do it, the know-how, but you actually don't necessarily own the software to go out there and sell it.
So that's a thing that and man, my best friend, like every personal project I do, he brings me on. Every personal project he doesn't bring on. So we are the dichotomy of. So he's a hardcore developer. When I say hardcore, I mean like, I need to build this system. He's a guy that will build it in the back office, in the night, discreet, and the glasses glare, and that's it. And then at the end of the day, he's like, it's finished. You need to go out there and explain it to them. So I'm not a consultant. When I go there, I'm like, hey Bob from marketing, here's how this thing works. Here's what you need to do, optimize the business processes, and so on. So like everybody starts off at the developer phase. Everybody's like, I want to write this code. It's so cool. But then I think there's just some polarizing factor where you either branch off and become a consultant, or you remain, you go become a developer and then you specialize in backend or whatever. So like Real Decoy primarily wants consultants. So they're developers there. But they have a thing called Learning Path, which literally takes anybody and turns it into a consultant. We
more rounded, not necessarily a consultant. But
yeah.
still want to be extremely exceptional in development, but to the business and talking their language as well.
So yeah. So developing is fun and nice, and consulting is fun. It's just what you like to do. Do you like to, like actually solve the problem, or do you like to, explain how to solve the problem and then have a friend work it out with you? So like to me, like consultants speak the business tech and devs just speak tech.
So I'm telling you something, what really hard over the years have developed specialized tools.
Yeah.
For this.
Lots of
later on, look at marketing these tools.
No, so the thing is, no, as Relikoi primarily does site search, and there's a tool called Indeco, which Relikoi is, not as the global leader in this tool. I mean, Oracle bought it and then took us on and said, everything with Indeco is yours. So we became global leaders for Indeco. And then there are always these little niche problems like migrating from old Indeco to new Indeco that we encounter. And instead of doing it manually every time, people write scripts. So you write these little proprietary tools which belong to the company that help speed things up next time. So like let's say, oh, I want to migrate from Indeco 3 to Indeco 6. We can do it the next time. We made it more efficient. So it's still niche. So I mean, as I said, it's really quite focused on niche thing. They got in it. So use this niche. That's the original point. Like the one with mail time. You solve this niche problem, and then once you're in, you solve all our problems.
Yeah.
So really cool as a primary site search in Indeco, and then from there you get a lot of CMS jobs because I mean, you've now helped this person to find the one record out of 1 billion that they're looking for in less than half a millisecond. Now, how do you display this to their users? Because I said, site search links to e-commerce, and then how in e-commerce do you optimize the layout of a page to ensure that it's 2 clicks to buy or 1 click to buy, optimizing the UX and the UI. So if you get this niche problem, everything else will just come with it. They're like, oh, since you're already here and you understand our systems, build, maintain, manage our website. We want a mobile application for it as well. Do it. We want you to build us a tool that allows us to optimize our business processes more. Nothing related to site search, nothing at all related to site search, but you've got into that company, you can solve problems, not only limited to site search, but general, business processing to optimize your website is scrapping to make it better. It doesn't make sense for you to be stressing about your website when you should be out there marketing your product, selling your product. We will take that on for you. So now I've managed services, implementing DevOps to ensure that there are no breaks in deployments, so things like that. You find a niche problem, you get in there, you solve, you excel at that one thing, and then you go viral in the company.
I have a question. I have a number of questions to lead to this question, but I'm going to skip to the question. Forgive me if I missed it. Because
No. Go.
So did you guys get any ownership in the local operation?
High salaries.
High salaries. Now, what?
You said that's not going to want to work here.
What? High salaries meaning what is the kind of the range where compared to, let's say, North America. Let's just use North American standards for a entry-level consultant coming out of university. If I recall correctly, it's about 50 to 60,000 coming in as a consultant or developer coming in. Where would be your wages for an entry-level person coming in?
Before we answer that.
Yes.
Can't answer that. Cannot answer that.
Well, he can't answer that.
Okay.
I won't answer, but we need
No,
to.
I just say compared to them, where would you kind of
So US?
as a percentage wise, like
No,
are you like,
hold on. As in, before even give me like estimates, I want to.
Yeah.
Quality of life in America and general life expenses.
No, look.
So like a percentage of as in I did this.
Really quite Canada was still paid.
Yeah, so but the thing is the quality of life in Canada is different. So the general expenses and stuff like that.
I know.
So the way I do it is a percentage of like I pay rent and my utilities.
10,000 US is the average graduate salary coming out of UTech.
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Or less. No.
Not paying us that.
Huh?
Not paying us that.
10,000 US maximum
A year?
locally. Max. Yeah, guys coming out. How much? What is it?
Oh,
10,000?
But here, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna pay that.
So that's what I'm saying. Is that 10,000 there, and it's 5 times it. What I wanted to know if there's, I mean, they've grown their base here because you're getting quality guys here, or better, depends on plus or minus, as there. And I just wanted to know the economics of why, the growth here and how that actually compares to you guys here. Is it, do you guys pay significantly higher than the local to get the best talent? Like if someone's getting 10,000, you're paying more than the regular guys coming out, or you're paying the same amount? And like just onto that. So it's not as a relative thing in order to attract talent and keep talent. I'm not asking if you're paying $50,000 to the guy who's there. I don't think so, because they wouldn't actually be growing their base here. We're actually on the thing with Stacy Kirk, who when she came out here. So I kind of spoke with Stacy about it, and what she finds the same quality of guys here or better, but she's only paying a fraction of it, but she can pay slightly more than
the base salary.
Here and get the best talent.
Yeah, we pay comparatively, not comparatively. A bit higher. I don't want to say comparatively. We pay a lot higher.
A lot higher
than the base salary.
Than what market here.
Yeah.
In any role, any position, anywhere.
Yeah.
Locally. Yeah. So okay. So before I get
I don't want to say. I don't even
before I get into other benefits or other things that you get for working really good, what I want to touch on something he mentioned, which is the learning path process that we have. But that creates an unusual problem to have. So one of the good things that happens is with this learning path, with someone being trained to handle just more than just develop, but can also speak to both contexts, is we have an employee who manages $2 million an hour for a company, and maintaining their site uptime consistently. So she manages $2 million an hour as a consultant, not a senior consultant or junior consultant, a consultant. That's a middle tier. So that creates, with that kind of response to that kind of ability, it creates a situation where we have very highly trained people who work in Jamaica, because there's nowhere in Jamaica that will pay one or the after the same kind of
job opportunity,
experience and job opportunity that we have.
I mean, to complement that, I started working there a year ago, and there's normal 3-month probation for the job. When you start working at Real Ecoy, they have something called RD Learns, which they give you 2,000 Canadian, 1,200 Canadian a year to learn. I want to become an orchestra certified engineer. Do it. I want to do it. I want to buy this book. Do it. This is on probation. They're like, oh, if you want to pursue your certification in or whatever, here's the money. You pay it, you pass it, you get the money, you get reimbursed, right? And you can keep on doing it. Every year. That's what replenished. Benefits and stuff like that. But then the kick for me was the paying in US. I started working there. The exchange rate was 115, and the boy this today is like 126. When I just started, I paid roughly 40% of my salary in utilities and rent. I now pay less than 30% of my salary for utilities and rent. So at the end of the day, it's not really they pay us $50,000 a year. It's like Jamaica. I mean,
typically speaking, you actually can pay more than that and still actually pay less than you pay your Canadian.
Yeah.
On there, and still get quality talent, because you're actually, there isn't anywhere else for you to go, as you said. I mean, you're only paying the best, plus the opportunity of actually working on some really cool stuff.
Yeah, like
and opportunity and experience that you actually get.
This auto, there's a guy who started. I think he started in July. Was flung, and by flung I mean flung into the deep end on a project, and he optimized the process that takes about 10, 12 hours, brought it down to about 3, and that saved the company a couple $1 billion. And when we're in the office, he's in the same work with us, so we're talking about like, oh, I got I got the baseline on 3 hours. Everybody was like, what? Like, you're lying. And like, Brian again, he's like, yeah, it's 3 hours, runs in 3 hours. And then I sat down, I'm like, hold on. Congratulations. And I said, yo, you saved the company like billions of dollars. And he's like, what? And then the weight of the work he did, like hit him, and he just blew his mind. So he's solving like these niche, very nice problems. And it's fun to know that.
Cool. So now I know where to go to actually get good talent from to come help us.
I brought Paul on for. I'm willing to help Charlotte Jamaica or complement tech support, consulting support. In any way we can.
Fantastic. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
On to there, because now we actually know where where to get these guys some help.
Yeah.
They actually need to go. You guys have any other questions?
Founders.
Founders, they're Canadian. So, families. I'm joking. So you have Jeff and Richard. Richard has been to Jamaica for like twice, I think. But Jeff comes every week in Jamaica for at least 2 weeks. Even last month he was here for 2 weeks and he came back again last night. Sure. Can
bring some up.
Yes, I can. No, I mean, so
yeah, no, that would actually be
yeah,
we
can work it out. You'd think that Canada being that far away. No, the offices are really close. We have hackathons, internal hackathons in the company, and we have teams spanning Canada and Jamaica. So you'd have like 3 guys in Jamaica, 1 guy in Canada, 3 things like that.
So do they invest in the startup companies in Canada?
So Jeff is a serial investor.
Okay.
He took a sabbatical from Real Liquid to the startups in Canada. So he is all about the startup and Real Liquid is an environment of entrepreneurship. Body more or less in Real Liquid is an entrepreneur. Not necessarily tech, because there's a chick in there who makes the best cakes, muffins in the office. So every Friday she'd bring 2 tins of muffins, and before 10 o'clock that's done. Giveaway, she sells it. Myself, I'm an independent software contractor consultant. I have another guy who sits in the same office as us. He manages local companies' websites. Like, we didn't know that his clientele was so far, but he does this on the side as well. Paul is an amazing coach. Like Jim doesn't. He does. He's a coach. He's a life coach. He's a mentor. He's a professional mentor. He literally, lots of people look up to Paul in the office. And he's been there for 7 years. It's that there.
By the way, Startup Jamaica needs a CTO, so I can tell him the salary range for it, Paul.
I'd recommend Paul.
If you might need someone who wants to have a sideways advancement in their career.
So there are like tons of entrepreneurs in Real Liquid. I mean, registered businesses, some registered, some not, some on the side, some not. So
cool.
And one thing I made it clear when I started working, I'm like, I will not stop working. I'm doing my side projects. They're like, well, between the hours of 8 and 5, you work for us. What do you want to do after? As long as there's no conflict of interest, you're fine.
Cool.
Which is cool.
No, this has been terrific to know about.
Systems that I can solve is there, and we're on tech startups that need to start and funded. And we'll come.
No, he's been coming to Jamaica for years. It's not like
I'm not telling him to come here.
So then, next time he's in, we'll try and schedule the Tuesday talk for him when he can come back.
No, man,
I'm pretty sure you look forward to it because, as I said, he's a serious investor.
That'd be great, and we can actually, link these things should be linked. Now, as you know, we have the Nation Network.
Yeah.
So we actually need to make sure that when we have, these speakers or talk, that everyone actually kind of knows about them, so we can actually make.
I'd like that everybody here join the JCS, the Jamaican Business Society. Another thing when you start your business, you could have the best product in the world. If nobody knows, nobody knows. You can't sell something to nobody, right? So you go to these little networking events. The JCS is a really nice place. I've met a lot of industry leaders in Jamaica The silent giants in Jamaica who make things happen. The tech legislators, the CTOs of this building you're standing in right now, they come to these meetings and they all talk about ways to help change Jamaica, and everybody should join. They have meetings at least twice a month, and you have various subcommittees or groups that you might pique interest, like security, innovation. Innovation falls is mine. So like innovation follows all the startups. So if you don't get the investor you want here, there might be somebody on the board at the JCS who is interested in what you're doing, who will supplement what Startup Jamaica does, or even provide insight. I say you never know what somebody knows until you talk to them.
Also, Tech Beach. If you're interested in
Tech Beach, December
investors, the Tech Beach is a good
1
place
to
go.
3. If you sign up with promo code,
JCS.
the JCS, Jamaica Computer Society, myjcs.org, myjcs.org, you get a 30% discount on the Tech Beach tickets. You pay the full price and get the full experience. It's our conference in
Secrets.
Secrets Mobile.
Separate from the regular
JCS conference. Yeah, so we'll be actually throwing one in September, October around DevOps. Probably something to organize that with the JCS. So that's a JCS conference that'll be in September, October. The Tech Beach will be, I think everybody should send one person from a startup there. You need to go because you have people, not local, not only local, international, LinkedIn, Google, GitHub. Pretty sure you can keep Mark over there. Mark, you're probably talking, I'm sure. But yeah,
Unrestricted access night and day. It's not like a regular conference where you go and you leave and that's
it's a hotel. Oh no. So the thing is, as I was saying, you should pay the full price. You can pay $800 once. And you get the ticket. So like you go there and you, I'm Jason, blah blah blah, and you leave. No, you want to pay, I think it was like $1,100 something for 3 days, 3 nights at Secrets, which is a wonderful hotel. Parties, you get all the full benefits of staying at the hotel.
By the way, the cost is if it isn't the 11 night, you really should figure it out. If it's 3 days, 3 days? Is it
3 days, 2 nights, yeah.
Yeah. So just the nights alone is like just to stay at the hotel is like $700.
And if you use the JCS promo code, which I will not tell you until you tell me you want to join JCS, you get 30% off the tickets. So it probably comes down to like $900.
Wow.
Yeah, and trust me, it's an investment. Even if you don't get an investor, it's a nice vacation. Secrets is a wonderful hotel, as you said, like $700 a night there. So when you go there, you get unrestricted access. Even after the conference is done, you're still at the hotel where the presenters are staying, and everybody likes to drink. Most programmers are alcoholics. Everybody likes to explore the Bama Peak. You know what Bama Peak? Bama Peak.
No, I'm not a drinker, but I'm not a drinker, but it's Obama Peak.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's
Obama Peak.
You go there and you talk to these people outside of the conference. You can network with them, and who knows, you might just meet your future investor and become the next big thing. Tech Beach JCS. I'm not paying the promo code until you decide to join the JCS. And if you join the JCS, it's really cheap.
We'll actually get the word out on the JCS and Tech Beach and do a promotion.
Yeah.
Start promoting it more heavily. We haven't actually started doing that yet, but we should now. Now, especially now we know the JCS connection to getting the discount.
Yeah, I'll send you all the information. 30% discounts. I said 3 days, 2 nights. Yeah, with the people you want to talk to. And who knows, you might just room with the presenter that might change your life. Oh, so the other thing that happened is if you want to bring someone, there's something you can work out where you can bring somebody that we don't pay for the conference. And if you pay for your room, you might get roomed up with a random. But you get roomed up with a random, but that random might be the person that changes your life. So, yeah.
Or 2 people can go.
Yeah, you can share together. Yeah.
It would be good to get Kirk here though.
Huh?
The organizer.
Yeah, we should get Kirk down. Kirk Anthony also to explain techniques down also. But now we have a better link also.
Yeah,
To get into tickets.
I'll tell him to reach out right now.
Yeah, no, I know Kirk, but we should come back down to when we actually have we know the teams will be here.
Hey, my name's Steve Mitchell. Very interesting people.
Yeah, Kirk is.
Yeah, no, Kirk has reached out to me. on there. As a matter of fact, I may be speaking, but I'm not quite sure.
Because I said, like, I'm pretty sure I saw your name on it. And I said, your name is here.
Yeah.
Would be surprised.
Okay, all right. I think I am. I'm speaking there. To reach out to him. All right, that sounds good. Thanks. All right, great.
So what if somebody wants to gain experience from a company? Not
You want to work at Really Good?
When you're not work, but
You want to work at Really Good? I wasn't asking you. You want to work at Really
I
Good?
would love to. What if somebody wants to gain experience, not pay, but just to learn programs and stuff? That's
You want to come and work for free?
not necessarily.
Hell yeah! Have a
You
lot.
take on interns, but you're usually straight out of university, like as in like third year, going into fourth year type thing.
If you want to work for free, sure.
If you want to work for free, just come to our office and we put you to work. No
Yeah.
problem.
Don't worry, there's no shortage of work. There.
Or we could just hire you also and pay you to work. Yeah, but send your application in. They have a very new recruiter.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
After we use
Actually,
our site, really.com.
/careers and
We're always hiring. So like, if you don't send if you don't fight to get up a chance, send an application.
yeah.
Have a chat.
Yeah, but the thing is, we
Sounds
have
good.
2 interns there. They're going to final year. One is going. They're both going to final year at UNU respectively, and they are working on they're pretty much getting the best experience they could get there. They're working on an enterprise system for the company, revamping the bringing it from legacy to modern, pretty much. Yeah. And they've enjoyed the experience so far. And the interns from last year are now full-time with us staff.
What? How many guys do you have with percentage from which universities? Of the 3?
I'd say most.
90%
At one point it was 100% UTech, but you kind of changing now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. For
This
life.
guy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Some UA and nothing coming out of NCU yet.
not yet.
NCU?
NCU?
What's that? What's that?
No, not yet, not yet.
Oh. I thought they were like theologists and stuff.
No.
All right. Okay.
I'm joking.
Take care,
I'm joking.
guys.
He's not a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna stop the broadcast so we can talk off here.